Okay, so I kind of wanted to make this video on the Manosphere because it's been plaguing my feed for a while. I had to go into the options and I have to click or tap not interested because it that kind of content, although like there's a lot of good things about it, there's a lot of bad things, that a lot of baggage that comes with it, and it really just invokes this sense of hate into like a person. And I know that like these men want to do good, but the rhetoric that they spew is very, very detrimental, I believe, to the psyche. I know every single time I listen to them, like it makes me view a particular gender in a very narrow conduit, and I don't want to do that because it's it's terrifying. Like it just gives like really hopeless vibes to what the future can potentially be. So I kind of wanted to just talk about that and like kind of like tell you guys like, hey, listen, if you guys are kind of embroiled into like this whole manosphere thing, which by the way, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So manosphere, so it looks something like this. Look, what is this? Did I put mana? Yeah, I did. Manosphere. Okay, so it looks like this. Look at these titles. Okay, so women over 35 hitting the wall hard. Okay, and I bet you can only imagine what that's gonna be about. It's pretty much just empowering the fact that these women biologically will no longer be able to conceive of children beyond 35. Now, of course, they can, but the only problem is that like now that you've hit 35 or beyond, your chances of giving birth to a kid obviously, fall. But also, if you were to give birth to a child or to a baby, that baby is most likely to be born with preconditioned what was it what is it called, a preconditioned illness. So that would be like Down syndrome, or perhaps a missing limb, or probably a disease like microcephaly, which, if you don't know what microcephaly is, it's essentially when a baby is born but like the brain matter is very, very tiny, and so like they're born with this like very small head, which I'll show you right now. No, I'm not even gonna show you. If you really want to look at it, go ahead and look at it. I don't know, it just looks sad whenever you see that. But honestly, listen, the point is, if you want to, I feel like this, okay, if you want to have a more fulfilling life and a better view on life, I would highly, highly suggest not watching this content, because this content is very, very detrimental to the mind. And I know you guys know who this is. Andrew Tate. You guys have heard of Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, he loves to talk about his views on women, and it's very, very biased. He even tells you too that he's very biased about it. Ask yourself this question: do you want to be biased about a certain gender of people? I feel like in a lot of media, and this is what I'm going to get to into in a bit, that a lot of media, they depict men as being like very perverted, as you would see like in a lot of anime, or not really in American cartoons. Although in American cartoons, like you show like the girl or the woman like just obsessively chasing the man, which I think that's a problem as well. But lots of times, like especially because now anime is really popular, like you see like a lot of like just guys just being like really creepy, but at the same time you see a lot of women being very obsessively creepy as well. So that's one thing that I want to tell you guys about. Like, you guys got to be careful with like the media as well, because in the media, like you see these things like where men are depicted as buffoons or depicted as perverts, or women are depicted as obsessive tsunderes, which are like women who kill for love, who are obsessed. I don't know if it's for love, but like they kill because they're obsessed. And like I couldn't believe it when like I read a story about like an actual tsundere existing in real life, where she actually attempted to eliminate, I think, her boyfriend, and she sat there next to the body that was like laid out all naked. It was unbelievable. It was really, truly unbelievable, and I could not believe like cartoon fantasies are like becoming a thing in real life. I don't know. The point is that like I would highly suggest just getting away from this content. You don't want to be a part of this content, especially because I've seen a lot of like Andrew Tate's videos, and I wanted to like, I really wanted to see what he was about, because obviously when you see things online, when you see like small clips, you can't really like, you don't have like a full grasp of like the person's personality. But I feel like he wears his personality on his sleeves, and in fact I feel like he is really bold to the point where like he's so open that nobody really pays attention to what he's really saying, because he just exudes that confidence when he speaks. And I think only people pay attention to the confidence, not really no, I can't say the people, because there's very, very few people who actually like take him serious. But like those people, those very few people that take him serious, they end up supporting him to like the fullest extent. Now if you haven't seen his videos, I'm gonna take you to a guy that I really feel like he's really great when it comes to this stuff. So I know you've heard of him, Patrick CC. When you go to Patrick CC, he has 2 videos on Andrew Tate. Look at these 2 videos, okay? He goes into full depth. If you want to really understand like what like a cult leader is like, go ahead and view this video. If you really want to see what like the reality of like Fame's Tate is, check out this video. Also, I highly suggest Turkey Tom's video on Andrew Tate, because he also did an in-depth analysis of Andrew Tate. Go check that out, dude. It's pretty awesome. I really like it. This guy's reacting to it, I guess, but like this is the original video right here. So they will go into it far deeper than I ever will, because I don't really associate myself with like this in like this whole like agenda here where like, you know, the man. I feel like there is legitimate issues to talk about. Like for instance, one of the issues is like the fact that like women get a lot of attention online, which I don't know, we still don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It seems like it's a bad thing because it's skewed women's perspective into like this whole other like unrealistic realm. But again, I don't know, it could be that. But do you see how when I tell you guys like it could be that, or we still don't understand it? Yeah, so whenever you watch the Manosphere here, the Manosphere content, they don't exactly try to like make you aware that this is something that we do not understand yet. Instead, they will talk about it as if they are absolutely confident and they know that this is absolute fact. And I kind of just want to go ahead and just remind you guys, yo, if you guys watch this content, just at your own risk, do not take everything they say, take it with a grain of salt. You don't want to take this at heart, and you don't want to start arguing with people over this and saying that women are like this or men are like that. I really do believe there's something going on in the dating sphere, because a lot of men are not dating, and I can't find any like tangible answers as to why this is the case. Some part of me wants to think that the reason why men aren't exactly dating, watch, let me pull up that graph. Actually, is it are men dating? I think men are looking for dates. No, where's that chart? That's a faulty from what I heard, this is a faulty chart. But there was a chart here that I had seen that is pretty legit, but I can't find it. So it's not here. I don't know where it's at. But the point is though, like, just be very careful when you watch this content. Like it could be absolutely, like, you won't even know it. You'll probably think to yourself like, no, it doesn't affect me. Like, I'm pretty hard on when it comes to this stuff. Like, I have like a very impenetrable force that cannot be infiltrated. If you're thinking like that, I hate to break it to you, but there's this phenomenon. There's this psychological trait called priming. The more you put into your mind, the more you start to kind of live that lifestyle without you ever realizing it. And the thing is that you start to question your own reality, which isn't bad, but when it comes to content that you have no idea if it's true or not, that's when like you start to get skewed into a more radicalized point of view. So again, we have very little understanding of like the dynamics between men and women. I just want you to remember that, okay? If you guys are watching this content, or if you guys are gonna check out to see what they're listening to, just remember, nothing is set in stone. We still have very, very little understanding as to what a lot of this stuff is. So please, guys, I just want you guys to know, both men and women, For women, if you're gonna watch this content at your own risk, understand that this is definitely gonna make you feel really, really bad. You don't want to go into this content, okay? Because this content is just men just, sometimes just empowering certain biological facts and also shaming you guys because you guys didn't act on it sooner. So just remember that, okay? If you want to feel like crap, go ahead and watch this, but I highly, highly, highly suggest that you abstain from this content. And for men, just remember, when you're going to watch this content, remember, nothing is set in stone. People in here talk about it as if they are absolutely confident that that's the case. Just be very careful. Okay, I actually like MTR's content, but at the same time, again, he still talks about it as if he's absolutely confident that that's the case. Be careful. I like Hamza's content as well. Hamza, I like his content too as well. But if you even go like into his about section, like you could just like, where is it? Where did I see that video? There was somewhere where he described something. Is it the community post? Right here. Oh yeah, it was right here. Let's saw a million views in the last 48 hours. First time ever seeing this on the channel, which congratulations, bro. I think that you are absolutely a leader that is needed in this sphere. But again, like, I think working on his rhetoric would absolutely help him a lot more. Because like his rhetoric is you're gonna see right now, the revolution is growing. We are sick of social media and other addictive mental illness causing technology. We want our brothers back from the dark depths of prawn and video game addiction. Right here, this thing, video game addiction. They just conducted a study of a sample size of 40,000 gamers, and the thing is, or even not, it wasn't even gamers, it was more, I think it was more like people. It was a sample size of 40,000 people. Okay, so this is the article, okay? The article goes into like how mental health affects a gamer, okay? Unless the gamer can't stop. Now, based off of the article that I've read, it's given me the impression that it's either because they are obligated to play due to a contract or whatever other reason. I don't particularly get the addiction part because it doesn't mention anything about addiction, but overall, it seems like a lot of gamers, especially the 40,000 gamers that like consented to this research, if they found out that it doesn't really harm the person's mental health by much. And they tried this out with different games like Animal Crossing, New Horizons, racing simulators like Gran Turismo Sport, and even games such as Apex Legends and EVE Online. I don't know what EVE Online is, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it affects people negatively unless, again, they are like bound by the game in some shape. Who knows? But here's the thing, okay? I know that Hamza loves to talk about how like gaming, like how like that gaming is addicting. Hamza, let me show you. And again, I'm not hating on Hamza. I'm not saying that he's a terrible person. Like, I actually like his content. But he says right here, the depths of prawn and video game addiction. Bro, we don't even know if video games are all that addicting. I just looked it up. You could just look it up too. It says right here, moreover, video games affect the brain in the same way as addictive drugs. They trigger the release of dopamine. Remember this, okay? They trigger the release of dopamine, a chemical which reinforces behavior. For this reason, playing video games can be an addictive stimulus. These factors indicate that addiction to video games. Here's the thing, bro. Right here, release of dopamine. There's a lot of things that release dopamine. A lot of things that release dopamine. You know, and particularly video games definitely promotes the trigger of releasing dopamine. And the reason why is because in gaming, there's reward factors to it. Like if you just, I don't know, eliminated somebody, that makes you feel good. Of course, that's going to release dopamine. You know what a drug does instead, though? When you take a drug like meth, it's not because it's rewarding. It's because that drug is chemically structured so then your dopamine can be released whether you are experiencing a reward or not. In other words, you're experiencing the reward without actually accomplishing something. When it comes to video games, you are accomplishing something. And you want to know what else triggers the release of dopamine? Playing music. Now, research shows music oh my gosh, come on. What's up with your English? Now, research shows music is as addictive as alcohol, fast food, and cocaine. Scientists say it triggers an area of the brain known as the nucleus accumbens. Accumbens, yeah. The reward centre. There's a lot of things that trigger this addictive like substance, this addictive like side, I guess, the dopamine. Again, it's because it's rewarding when you play music. It's rewarding when you play video games. You know what's not rewarding? When you ingest drugs that by default it triggers the release of dopamine. Not because you're winning or being rewarded. It's because that chemical, that drug is stimulating your brain in a certain way that produces it whether you experience an achievement or not. So that's the thing. We don't understand this stuff. We don't understand it. But based off of this, it doesn't really seem like it affects mental health unless the gamer can't stop, which this could mean anything if you know anything about the English language and how vague it is. So yeah, this thing about like video game addiction, that's a maybe. So I just kind of want to just put it out there. And by the way, if you guys want to look into the article is right here. And the study that they conducted of like 40,000 gamers can be found right here on the Royal Society Publishing, which I'll leave a link below if you want to read it. And then like the whole PDF of what gaming could potentially do to your mental health, I'll leave that down in the bottom below, in the description below, if you want to read all of it. It's all here. I haven't read it and I definitely want to read it. I only read the article, but I found it interesting that they went into depth with the whole mental health thing, the whole mental health issue between games and humans. So the relationship between games and humans. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at that. Prawn is very poorly I say prawn, okay, because I don't want to say the word, but right here, okay, prawn. This is poorly understood as well. We don't even know like what it really does to a person, how it affects a person. There's people out there with testimonies about how like it's affected them, but again, we don't really understand it at a very macro level. So again, I would highly suggest just like, you know, taking a lot of the stuff he says with a grain of salt as well. But overall, like whenever you listen to a Hamza video, like it makes you want to like be productive, you know, which is what I like, you know. So not the Manosphere completely is not bad, but it's just some of their rhetoric that's just like I question it, you know, and it makes me a bit like anxious to know that like they're saying stuff like this that's very overconfident, and you know, so there's that. And then one more thing, Andrew Tate on the other hand, that guy he brings a lot of anxiousness, honestly, because like he relies a lot on his biases to get him people, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people are very dedicated to that. As a matter of fact, I think he's making $1 million a month from his course, which if you guys don't know, going to those videos that I recommended of Patrick CC and Turkey Tom, you will see how much they cost. Spoilers, it's $4,000 just for one course. It used to be only $300. That price shot up since the demand is absolutely high for that. And then again, going into the videos, they're going to go into depth as to what a lot of this stuff is. So if you guys really want to learn about Andrew Tate, remember, go to Turkey Tom's video, which I'll leave in the description below, and then also go to Patrick CC's video. Oh my god, like go to his video about like these two, and I'll put those in a link below. Go check them out, guys. And yeah, just remember, when you guys enter the Manosphere, just enter cautiously. Don't believe everything you hear, and remember, everything is very obscure. We don't exactly have a good understanding of this. So yeah, just kind of want to leave you guys with that.